Good morning, friends. Are you a brand new insurance agent and you're wondering what are the essentials that you need to acquire to have a chance of making it in final expense telesales? Well, you found the right video. We're going to get right after it, help guard your purses, guard your pocketbooks, ladies and gentlemen, so that you can get a great start in this amazing industry. So if you're taking notes, let's get right after it. Number one, the telephone. It's so important that you have crystal clear communications. If not, you may call it quits. And let's get real, 90% of the agent force doesn't make it. And you know what? If you're using a phone that's cutting in and cutting out, that could be part of the problem because you're cutting corners here. So, number one, the phone. Most important thing is a crystal clear line of communication so that you don't lose that client, because trust is so key to you having a transaction that happens. Because if you're in that phone call and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson, I lost that. Can you repeat that again? And the client won't tell you that your communication's cutting out. They're just going to lose trust in you and say, I got to go. I got to talk to my dog. I got to talk to my friend. I'm busy. Okay. They're going to leave that conversation and not always tell you why. So, your line of communication is so important. If you're using your cell phone when you're a brand new insurance agent, that's just dandy. You can make crazy dollars in this industry if you're successful by just using your cell phone when you first start off. You don't need to spend money on a dialer or a CRM or any of these crazy things that maybe your email inbox is blowing you up with. You just need a good phone. You can use a voice over internet phone. That works great too. I personally like it because it's that tactile feel as opposed to typing on glass. I prefer a manual type phone, and you can get those very inexpensively. But keep the first things when you're first starting off. Now, I'm not saying there's not a place for a dialer and a CRM later in your career, but right now, you're going to lose a lot of money prioritizing that. Right now, you need to just prioritize crystal clear communications. That means you need a good headset. That means if you don't have a good headset, you need to be in a place that's very quiet, free of distractions, no dogs yipping, kids making noise, lawnmowers going in the background. You can't have that because all those little noises are not going to be good for you completing a sale, because they're going to be like, is this guy working out of his bedroom? Are you like, where are you in a street cafe? I'm not giving you my social and my banking and all that stuff, right? These are roadblocks that you're putting up in front of yourselves if you have all these distractions. So you've got to isolate yourself from distractions when you're on that powerful phone. But you got to do that maybe by being creative. If you're a brand new insurance agent, maybe you don't have a private office. Maybe you've got a loving family and kids that make noise. I know when I first started in this industry, I was where you are. I had a beautiful child on the way, little colicky. All right, let me tell you, he made a little noise, and that was like, yikes, I'll go work in my car at first, right? I'm just saying, you've got to get yourself free from those distractions to make the dollars in this space, to even have a chance of it, because they can't be hearing all this stuff. So use your car. It's got air conditioning, right? Just make sure your exhaust is vented in the right direction, because I care about you. But I'm saying you can use your car in Bluetooth if it's crystal clear Bluetooth. You could be in your car with just your cell phone. You're fine. Just go near a tower where you got 5 bars. Believe it or not, cell phones are great. We've had agents that partner with us that have made sales in hospital parking lots while their spouses are in getting surgeries and they had nothing to do. This is a powerful place to be able to have freedom, to be able to have a career, a calling, not just a job. This industry is dynamic, but your phone is the number one most important thing. Free of distractions. Make sure it's crystal clear. Make sure you don't have that line cutting in and cutting out. But don't buy a dialer right now when you're brand new and haven't made any sales. Don't buy a CRM. You're wasting money. Client resource management is to manage clients. How many do you have right now? Zero. You could probably manage your client base on one hand. It's a bad choice for you right now financially. Later on, yes. Right now, just don't do it. Now, the next thing that you really need is a computer. It could be an iPad. It could be Windows based. It doesn't matter. You don't have to spend much money. You can use your kid's computer. All right. You can go to a pawn shop and buy one when you're brand new. You could even buy one of those little netbooks, very inexpensive, little Chromebooks, very inexpensive. You just need a computer to be able to run the quotes, to be able to get into the carrier portals so that you can write the business. So right now, we're not talking about a lot of things. You're probably watching me on your cell phone. And if you're watching me on your cell phone, would you do me a favor in the comments below? Write cell phone below. Kind of curious how many of you are watching with your cell phone. But think about it. You've got the phone already. That's number one. Number two, you may be watching me on a computer. If you're watching me on a computer, put that down below too. But I'm saying, like, are your computers everything for you engaging with that consumer and completing the application? Now, certain carriers, you could do it all by phone. Don't even need a computer, but you're still going to have to run the quotes. All right. So make sure that you've got a computer that works. Now, you got to have it hooked up to the internet. So make sure that you're either using LTE if you're in your car doing final expense telesales, or maybe you're in a place that's quiet, a detached office, or maybe you've got a bedroom somewhere. Make sure you got good cell signal or good Wi Fi signal to that office where you're working. Very important, so you don't lose the ability to get halfway through an application and then it cuts off on you. So make sure your internet is very strong, and that is very pivotal. All right. So far, we need a phone, we need a computer and internet. Free of distractions. We're pretty solid so far. You probably possess this in the industry. Now, number three, you need a lot of leads. You just do. You need leads and you need to be ready to go. Money is well spent when you spend money on leads when you're brand new. So many insurance agents don't buy enough leads, and then they lose their lunch. They're like, oh, nobody wants to buy from me. It's a horrible business. It's so tough. And I'm not saying the business is easy. Simple, yes, but it's far from easy. But you've got to have lots of engagements. The more hands you shake, the more money you can make, right? It's a potential, but yet there's no guarantee. You've got to get as many leads as you can when you're first starting off so that you can get to that sale as fast as you can. You got to know your script. You've got to know your objections. You've got to be able to handle them with dignity and grace. You can't get offended. You got to know that those are going to come at you. So being an agent that has a good phone, has a good computer, number three, you got a lot of leads. Very powerful for you. Now, what you got to really do, number four, is put in the time. This is no different than if you worked for a W-2. If you looked at your check and go, whoa, I got shorted on my check. And then your boss goes, well, you didn't put the hours in, man. You only showed up for what, 10 hours last week and you expect to get paid 40? Come on. In the W-2 world, they'd have a very frank conversation with you. Well, in the insurance world, sometimes we take this business for granted. You're a 1099. You are paid in according to the problems that you solve, and sometimes in the work that you put in or didn't put in. So if you're a full-time insurance agent, look at the white space on your calendar and go, you know what? I have a phone. I have a computer, I got internet. I got the ability to get business done. I've got leads, number three. All right, number four, did I put the time in to have a chance to get the take-home pay that I desire? Did I even put the time in? Pretend you are the employee and you're the boss of a W-2 employee, even though you're 1099, and go, you know what? Did I take shortcuts? Did I take a lot of time off this week and then I'm wanting to get paid full time when I put in part time effort? We've got to really look ourselves in the mirror and go, you know what? If I got a great script, I've got good objections, I got good training, I got good mentoring, I've got a great phone, I've got the ability to take care of these great people. Did I take this business seriously? And I know for some of you that's kind of tough to swallow because we want all the freedom at first when we jump into this industry without finding success. And I'm telling you, when you first start off, you got to overwork everything. Action will fix your problems in this space when you're new. It's all about action. All about action, all about making the calls, not calling it quits when you feel like it, because this business is a roller coaster. You go from like this high to what in the beep am I doing here? All right. When you're brand new, you're going to get paid and then you're going to get a small charge back. You're going to have a great conversation and then you're going to get another person that tells you to go bless yourself, and not in a good way. All right. This is one of those great businesses where some days you're overpaid, some days you're underpaid, and you've got to uncover your inner hustle. You've got to uncover your inner professional that you know that you are. All right. Discipline is so important. Habits are so important. You've got to just engage with your script like it's a piece of you. And that means you got to practice it like you would practice a sport, like you would practice a play for Romeo and Juliet. Put yourself into it. That's why we do recruit and partner with powerful agents and agencies like yourself to sell life insurance, Medicare insurance, and annuities face to face, but more importantly in the telespace. And we train brutally so that when you get on that phone, it's not as bad. Because when you're told, I need to talk to my dog, I'm too busy, I didn't send this in, just mail it to me, all these objections, you've got to be ready to overcome them before they come at you. So having a phone, having a computer, eliminating the distractions. It's very, very critical to you. You can use a headset, you can use speakerphone in a great place. Not a big deal. You just need a phone that's dialed in and crystal clear. All right. You need a lot of leads, but you got to make a lot of calls. And I mean a lot of calls when you're brand new. Don't call it quits. Just make another call. Your yes is right on the other side of that no. So know that you've got what it takes, my friends. If we can give you any resources, or maybe you need a good work family to call a home, jasonfinalexpense.com. But these are the essentials that you need to engage with prospects and have a great chance of having a career that you're proud of. And that's probably why you drove, okay, to this place in your life and got that insurance license. Yeah, drove and got proctored. All right. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. You got that test done, or now you've got your license. You're going into final expense telesales. You're like, I'm going to take trips and I'm going to work. I'm going to do this and travel and see my grandparents and my kids and still be able to make a living. Yes, you're right. When you make it, there's no better life. But at first, it looks like hustle. It looks like heartache a little bit. It looks like grind. It looks like buy-in leads and taking that leap of faith and sustaining action, sustaining lead purchases every week, sustaining yourself mentally so that you have a chance of making that money. And there's no better life when you make it, when you become that top 8% nationally that enjoys their career, their calling, versus the 90% that maybe took some shortcuts, maybe didn't spend their money on leads right, maybe spent money wrong on getting suckered into buying a fancy CRM that sometimes is just a white labeled Go High Level. Nothing against Go High Level, but there's some other options that may be better for you for sure. But when you first start off, keep things insanely simple so that you've got a chance of finding the success that you know you deserve. If we can do anything to serve you, jasonfinalexpense.com. We'll see you soon.